It's morphin' time! Dragon Sword!
Mastodon!
Pterodactyl!
Triceratops!
Saber-tooth tiger!
Tyrannosaurus!
Yeah!
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Command Center Reviews. I'm David.
I'm Jeremy, and this is our good buddy Jacob here.
It's Jake.
Jacob.
Jacob.
Okay, say hi to the camera, Jake.
Hi!
Anyways, this is Jake's first time joining us. He will be a regular member on this channel in the future going forward. Today we are continuing with our theme that we started off with the Zords. We are going into Season 1. So now we're going to take a look at some of the figures. I don't have any of the 8-inch, but I had like all of the, what are these, like 5-inch
yeah,
figures.
roughly.
The flip heads, the monsters. I have a whole shelf full of them, so we thought we'd dive into those and start with some of the Season 1 guys.
Alright,
We should talk about who our favorite Rangers
Billy!
are in Season 1.
Billy the Blue Ranger, he's the most handsome and most intelligent, and he's fearless. Well, I mean, after season everything.
After never. He
gets better, he gets better.
He really
Slightly,
does.
but-
He's like the character who probably changes the most throughout Mighty Morphin.
I'd
He
say
takes
so.
the overalls off and just like, hey girls, what's up? Check out my muscles.
Well, I like watching like some interviews with him, and he was like his goal. It was so funny because like people like Walter talk about him. They're like, dude, David Yost is like a model. Like, it was so funny because like he was playing this nerdy character. He wasn't nerdy at all in real life. They all like admired him. They thought he was like this cool, really cool guy. But it was David Yost's goal to like slowly get away from the nerd stuff. So like I think after Season 1 he got rid of the overalls.
Yeah.
After they did the
sexy.
movie.
He got rid of the
He got
glasses.
he got rid of the glasses because it was a different crew on the movie. So he was like, he didn't wear the glasses on that movie, and then when they went back for Season 3, they were like, well, now for continuity, he can't wear glasses anymore.
So he just like,
Even though it was a different continuity. The movie
apparently
and the
off
show.
screen, he just randomly got laser eye surgery and fixed it, or got
Contacts.
Contact
Billy got
lenses.
contacts somewhere. It's
Billy
2 or
invented
3.
contacts for himself.
Right.
My favorite is Jason for sure. He just, when he left, the whole like idea and feeling of the show kind of changed a lot. I don't know, Rocky was not the best leader, although
Rocky was not even the leader.
No. Rocky
Which is
was
what a
pathetic.
lot of Rocky
fans.
fanatics will defend him as. Well, he wasn't supposed to be Jason. Well, it's like, well, he should have been a character. You know, maybe that would have been good. But we'll talk about Rocky later.
Anytime I think of Rocky, I think of the, sorry,
Just go for it.
Rocky just wants to have fun.
pachinko
Okay.
machine.
I do like that episode.
It's like, when I picture Rocky, that's all I see is that
The
episode.
best part is whenever the Rangers are standing there, there's like a meme or a gif of it.
And he's
on
just
the
running
internet.
around.
He's like, oh, walking in front of them, and all the Rangers like are like. But you should say more about Jason because this isn't about Rocky. It's about
Oh,
Jason.
because Jason's better. That's why it's not about Rocky at all.
I think you're right. Whenever these three ended up leaving the show, I think they were all great characters, and they were all memorable characters. Jason, in a way, was like the heart of the show, I think. I said this to you once before. I think he had a way, Austin St. John, of delivering this really ridiculous, cheesy dialogue and silly scenarios, but he somehow added some sort of realism to him, and he grounded it almost. Like,
Yeah, he was just such a much better actor.
As-
like, even just to make the silly actually kind of serious, or the serious kind of goofy at the same time.
Yeah, like... Great.
Bound to happen.
Way to go, Jeremy, for knocking over all of the figures.
I mean, I thought it was
No,
gonna
I
be
knocked
me.
over 3. You knocked over the other 2.
Anyways, yeah, Jason was kind of like the heart of the show, and he had a way of adding that groundedness to him. Like, whenever the Rangers were facing a tough situation or, like, a defeat, you could see it in his face. Like, he was acting, and it was like, this guy's, like, in pain over this.
He's into the show. And
He was into it. He did really
doing
good.
what he's supposed to do.
My favorite was, well, when the show first started, obviously Jason was my favorite because he was the
Right.
Red Ranger. Then Tommy came onto the scene, and Tommy like quickly became my favorite, which is probably why those two actors fought. But all that aside, let's start talking about these figures. Did you guys have any of these?
Yes,
growing up?
I did.
not.
Seth, my older brother, collected them all, so I have them.
I am the oldest of my family, so no.
They vary in quality. They all have the same body, which is okay for the guys, I guess. It's still kind of...
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense for Trini when you go back and watch the show with the Sentai footage.
the Sentai footage is a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, even for the guys, it is a little extreme body form here, but it's really bad on like Kimberly.
Really?
Let's take a closer look at these, and we'll start talking about the faces and stuff. Okay, so let's take a closer look at some of these figures. I guess we'll start from this way and kind of move forward, and with Jason, and maybe somebody else will make an appearance.
Maybe. Is it Jason Voorhees?
Yeah. Well, it is a Jason. In a matter of words, or in a matter of sense. But let's start off with Billy. I think Billy is one of the better.
And cuter.
Faces.
Cuter.
He's absolutely the cutest. It has a decent likeness, I'd say, to David
Very
Yost.
much so.
Especially in season 1.
But yeah, well, I think these were
More-
94, so
more
they
than-
would probably tail end of season 1, beginning of season 2
2.
era, which is my favorite era, at the end of season 1 and beginning of season 2. But I guess we'll use Billy as like the main guy to show articulations. This is the first. These guys bend at the waist for the legs. They bend at the knee as well, and elbow, and shoulder.
They also go around in a circle.
What's that?
Yeah. So they
Full rotation.
Oh, full rotation, yeah.
then
They've
they've got-
rotating abilities.
That's about it.
Not both
And
fingers.
the main feature of these figures, which this was brilliant,
Oh yeah.
Very much.
for a show like this, that's all about morphing and stuff like that. This idea of having the heads flip is amazing, and I think they used this idea. I know they did it in Mighty Morphin. They did it in the big reveal. They did it in Mighty Morphin. They did it in Zeo and Turbo. I think they quit for Space, but I know they brought it back eventually.
Don't you have Wild Force ones?
Yeah, they do it. The Wild Force ones, they not only did the flipping head, but they also spun, because you get like little weapons and
They are like really big and bulky too.
They're
like,
bigger
worse
than these
than
guys.
this.
They're humongous.
So yeah, at least by Wild Force they had already brought it back.
I think they did a couple other seasons. I think. I'm not sure.
But yeah, like Jeremy kind of showed off already, you push down on the morpher on the belt buckle, and the head flips on a
Like a
Spring
like a spring,
and an axle
and,
that kind of flips it.
Wow. Man.
and it reveals the helmet head, which his helmet is decent. It looks like he doesn't have a neck. You can see that there. It's kind of awkward. It's like his chin is glued to his chest.
It's almost a turtle
his
instead of a triceratops.
Yeah, his isn't the best as far as morphed helmet wise, but his Billy head I think is pretty good.
Okay. Next we have Zach, and
Well, if you can even call him that, it doesn't really look like
he
Zach.
is not the best, and the camera is actually picking him up as a face, which
That's
is really
spooky.
that's really weird.
Zach, if you can hear me, blink.
If he blinks, I'm out of here.
Burning him. That's what I'm doing.
But the hairdo's pretty on for at least the beginning of season 1.
It was there for one episode to be. At least you never know with him especially.
He had that nice flat top going on until
Did he?
like just before he left. He started doing that,
the curly.
The curly
I don't even know. What
Yeah,
you
I
call
guess
that.
you're right. Yeah.
which is slightly less dated.
Wow.
Whatever.
You can't get more dated than a flat top.
No.
So he was moving up in the rank.
Okay. But yeah, they all do the same articulation. His face is not the best.
Should have helmet.
Zach, who kind of, we didn't say a whole lot about Billy and his character, but he was like the nerd of the group who created all the weapons and stuff like that.
The flying bug car. That was
Yeah, the rad bug.
Yeah,
the rad bug, beautiful. Zach, I think a lot was missing. We said when Jason left, a lot of the heart was gone. I think the relationship between Jason and Zach in particular, let's keep him up here for a bit, lacked whenever the show was gone.
See, those knees again, guys.
Yeah, see.
Whenever he left the show. Because Zach, at least before Tommy became a main character, Zach was like Jason's best friend, and there were a lot of episodes where when Jason was, like we were saying, like dealing with things, Zach was there as his best friend, as his support.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of episodes he was right there.
Oh, yeah.
And their characterization, their relationship, There
I
was
think that was one of the better relationships in
Bromance,
in the whole
definitely.
series.
bromance, yeah.
At least in Mighty Morphin, like
Definitely.
Well, and that was the thing about that original cast. I
all the
include-
characters were so much stronger than any other
Yeah.
season, like
And
any
the
other
chemistry.
mixture and
Oh,
the
yeah.
chemistry,
Oh, yeah.
you know, like I like other casts. I like the second Turbo cast who ended up going into space. I
Yeah.
like them.
They were good cast.
And I like characters like Adam who come in. I mean, he wasn't the strongest character, especially when compared to, you know, he took over for Zach, who had a very strong characterization.
Yes.
Adam didn't really develop much till later, and even then, I
He
think
didn't even
people.
develop much until
I think
Zeo.
people give Adam a lot more credit than he really deserves. I like Adam, but even when they say, "Oh, he got way more developed in Turbo," it's like, well, even in Turbo, there wasn't a whole lot to Adam compared to a lot of these characters. I mean, they're kind of cookie cutouts, but at least there's something.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones, I think, are just suit
Well,
fillers.
see, when I would watch Power Rangers as a kid, I would get the genuine feeling because the cast was so, you know, they actually made you feel like you were watching a group of friends. Like they were actually real friends.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like it was just, the chemistry was just phenomenal.
And that was one of the strongest parts about, like I said, I think this first cast, before these three left, they were a tight cast and they worked well together. So if we want to morph him, take a look at his helmet. His helmet's better. He also doesn't have much of a neck. But it's not as bad as Billy's. Like Billy,
It's not like
This
his
is
chin
unfortunate.
is down here.
like
I'm a ranger.
like you're like, Billy, are you in pain? But he looks good. I guess we should also say I don't have the accessories that go with these guys, or not at least all of them.
They're hard to find. I was looking them up on eBay a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and they're just crazy.
I do have some of them, and I guess I could have brought them down, but it would just feel funny to look at some of the accessories when I don't have them all.
Yeah.
But they did all come with their respective weapons: power lance, bow, sword, daggers, and axe. And they would all form together to form the power blaster, which was really
Little
cool.
mini one.
And they all came with the blade blaster gun. But no, those weren't that big of a deal, anyways.
No.
Who wants to take? I'll take Kimberly.
Yeah, go for it, Kimberly.
All right, so Kimberly, the heartthrob on the show for all the boys. You know, I don't know who my first crush was. Was it Kimberly or April O'Neil? I'm not sure, but one of those two. Not the best
Kimberly.
likeness of Kimberly,
No.
and it doesn't help that she's in this mannish body. But it's not terrible.
They have not. It's been until recently that they've made good feminine figures.
Yeah.
Like that
with
you
the
cannot
legacy ones. That was called the one you're collecting.
Yeah, the legacy
ones.
and the Super Mega Force
the
5-inch
female
line.
mold is significantly different than the male mold.
You know, one thing we did say about Billy was I think he changed the most during the series and his run. And these guys got to get shorthanded because they leave.
Yeah.
You know, they're around for
They
about a
weren't-
season and a half.
They weren't enough time to see
But-
a full transformation.
Yeah,
if any were to occur.
Billy got like 3.5 seasons, and she got like 2.5 seasons, and so you see a lot of change in them, and you see like these two characters in particular really mature. By the time Kimberly leaves the show, she's like a completely different character. Whereas in the beginning, she's a very valley girlish and kind of really annoying.
Bubbly would be a good word.
Very.
Yeah,
describe her.
not annoying when you're a kid, but when you go back and watch those earlier
It's
episodes,
just
you're like, wow,
please
Kimberly is
mature,
obnoxious.
grow up. A
Be
little
12.
bit.
But by the end of the series, she is
14,
kind of
please.
like a strong woman character.
Yeah.
And she can hold her own really well. Funny. Anyways, yeah, morph her. Her helmet is decent, I would say.
Yeah, it's a much better like this than the other ones are.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
it's a
still
good-
kind of has that no neck thing going on.
Do they all have that?
I don't
feel
think
like,
so. I think Jason's isn't like that. Well, let's
Because
see,
so
we'll get to
far it's
Jason.
been like everyone we've looked at.
We'll see, I guess.
We'll see.
Jake, you want to take Trini?
I really don't, but I guess I'll do it. Let me look at her first. Hey, sexy. Oh, you are not Trina. You were somebody else entirely. As you can see, no. Oh, it's picking up her face. It's a person. Thank you. The knees, please.
She's a person.
They were
It's
like,
just-
put an Asian female head on there and it'll look like Trini.
Listen, I mean, it doesn't look like her.
I would say either hers or Zach's is probably the worst.
I
Oh,
say
face.
Trini's. I would definitely say Trini's.
So thoughts on Trini? I think out of the original 5 or original 6, I think she's the weakest character, but that doesn't make her any less likable.
I think she's the
I
weakest
feel.
at first.
I feel like if she was given, like, if she didn't leave the show, what she did, she might have developed into a really positive, good character like the rest of them are.
The other two.
Like they would have had at least more of a stronger point.
Like you had like the jock and Jason, you had the Valley Girl and Kimberly, you had the funny guy and Zach
the nerd and Billy.
And what is Trini?
I think
she's
that
smart,
jump
but she's like
jump between Kimberly and
Billy.
You need that weird
and
go between.
And in the early episodes, she kind of served as the translator for Billy. And like,
'Ause
I don't know
he
why they
speaks
never
so
became
crazily.
a thing. And I think a lot of fans kind of want that now that we're older. We're like, why didn't Billy and Trini kind of have a romance? Billy, ironically, got more girls than I think anybody else in the show.
And
he's actually gay in real
David
life.
Yost is actually.
But he had like 50 million girlfriends,
Available.
and none of them were Trini.
yeah, looking back, that should have happened.
The one person who understood him
was there for him, laughed at his jokes, cared for him.
But yeah, I mean, Trini is a likable character. She's
Friends-zone.
obviously loving. She's very environmental friendly, but she just doesn't have quite as strong as, I guess, a cutout as everybody else does. So it's harder to place her. Maybe that makes her a more realistic and grounded character, though.
Should we look at her helmet?
Yeah, do the helmet. Saber-tooth tiger!
It's stuck.
Wow.
Good job, Jake.
I didn't do it. It's. Boop. There it goes.
Yeah, she has a neck, right?
Sort of. She has more of a neck than I think the other ones.
Oh yeah, she totally has a neck, and that's
She has a neck. Look, guys, look, the neck. Right, can't see it.
Ish.
Neckish.
Trini has a much easier time swallowing her food than the rest of the Rangers. That's actually a really good helmet.
Oh, yeah.
That might be the best
it's
helmet so far.
Probably one of the best ones.
Yeah. So that's a really good
Whether or not we
a
got
likeness. They make up for the lack of likeness in Twee
Oh,
with the
David,
saber-tooth
down.
tiger. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Who's taking Jason? Jeremy, you want to
Oh,
take him?
yeah, I'll go
He's
for
your
it.
boy. Isn't he?
Yeah, he's your favorite. So
Yeah,
Why didn't I have Billy?
because he's over here.
he's over here.
Could have.
Jason, he has probably my favorite and probably the best of the faces.
I mean, it doesn't look like a lot like him, but in a weird way, like I feel like it resembles him a lot. Like it doesn't.
Much
Out
better,
of everyone else,
much
it is
better
the
than
most
Trini
resembling.
or
Yeah,
Zach.
definitely.
Definitely. Much more so. This is not straight. I like him a lot. It's a really big pet peeve. I hate all the symbols on the chests. It just
Yeah.
really bothers me.
This isn't the movie, guys.
Yeah.
But
Seriously.
whatever. I mean, I don't know why that was a.
That was on everything too. Like it was even on the artwork on the boxes. Like they always do the symbols on their chests. I don't know why. It's maybe they just thought it needed more. Like Superman and Batman had the symbol on the chest. Maybe.
But yeah,
toys.
we'll do the review or the reveal.
reviewing.
Yeah, we're doing the review right now.
There it
the
is. That
reveal,
helmet. Oh,
and yeah,
sort of a neck, more than Billy.
it's
I would say it's probably the second best. I think, in my opinion.
yeah.
I think Trini has the best neck.
Trini definitely, I think, has the most accurate helmet.
Trini for sure. I think he's a pretty good helmet too.
Yeah, his is close second. I think.
Yeah.
It's a little not like quite shaped right. I feel like the front of the helmet should be a little longer.
Something about it actually makes me think of the movie helmet.
Kind of.
I'm not sure why.
a little like more pressed in. I think. A
I'm
little
not sure
taller,
what it is. I always-
slightly more taller than
I
it
always
is
thought
wide.
that looking at it. We do have one more, and it is my favorite Ranger of all time, which is Tommy, specifically the Green Ranger. So this is him. His head is... The face is okay. The hair,
That mullet though.
Mullet.
Yeah.
Come from is that where you moved from? Alabama?
I don't know. I don't know why they did it. If that was supposed to be more based off of his early season 1 hair,
Awesome.
which eventually went away, which is really funny because obviously Tommy kept coming back. He came back as White, he came back as Red Zeo, he came back as Red Turbo. Every time they made a figure, it was the same head, which is really funny. The head's, it's okay. Nowhere near as good as
Turn
Jason's,
it to the
though.
side so they can see the great mullet.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know what bothers me though? The symbol on his chest
Yeah, that
isn't even the
symbol
right
is-
symbol. It's
Yeah, I wonder why that's
and
a
that's
thing.
and that's a big thing with like products that they make. Like even the T-shirts, that's not the right symbol. It's that symbol that's on them, as is, which is the word cartoonish dragon. It's not the dragon's
The claw.
claw thing. Claw symbol.
Yeah.
It's on like the dragon's.
And what's so funny is like Jason David Frank makes a huge deal about that. Like when he came back for Super Mega Force, he was like, "This is wrong. Fans are gonna be upset. This is wrong. Fans are gonna be upset." Like they have the
Like
silver
the silver
stripe.
stripe on the
He
helmet.
was like, "The morph are
Oh.
silver and not gold. They're gonna notice that. You should fix that." So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool that he does look out for the fans a little bit. And
What's
after you
half
morph
what he
in,
does anymore anyway.
right, he's all about communicating with him. Helmet, it isn't terrible, but it's definitely not the best.
No.
And I also have his shield. It doesn't really fit on him.
With the mullet.
Yeah, it doesn't fit because of his mullet. His mullet's just too hardcore.
His helmet's out. It's nice fitting.
Yeah, it looks real good. When I was a kid, I broke, I think, like 2 shields. I owned like 3 Green Rangers because I kept breaking or losing the shield. So yeah, this one sticks together pretty well. The White Ranger one falls apart, I think, a little bit easier and breaks a little bit easier. But this one's not bad at all.
No.
So there we go. We can have him like standing between his BB
And his other BB.
and his other
His
BB.
BB.
His clearly just on-camera BB. Okay, so closing thoughts on the original 6 automorphing Power Ranger figures.
I really like them a lot.
They're great.
Really, really cool. Really awesome idea.
They brought a lot of fun memories from my childhood.
I love these toys.
Oh yeah.
I love these toys. Like, they've come out with better ones since. Like, they did the 2010 line, which I thought was good. They've obviously the SH Figure Arts, which are huge.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I
Those
will
are
always love these though, and it's not just nostalgia. It's just like that the gimmick that they have is just so brilliant. Even with their flaws, they're so dated. You look at them, you're like, these toys are from the 90s. They're not necessarily the most accurate, but they're brilliant, and they have a charm to them.
Yeah.
A simplistic charm.
they don't have all the ridiculous gimmicks that some of the newer toys do, or
No,
just a
and
few
like
years
it wasn't
back.
like 'cause so many like I'm thinking of like back to like a lot of like the Batman lines that I remember from when I was a kid and stuff like that. Like they would have gimmicks and they would like wear these ridiculous outfits that they never wore on the show or in the movies, or they had these weapons that's crazy kick action or like
Underwater
spinny move.
Batman suit.
Right, but like these gimmicks that they use, like these make sense and these are legit. Again, I already said it, but it's the most brilliant idea, I think.
Without a doubt.
Even,
especially through the Power Ranger toy series, like any of them.
Like now they have those stupid mix and morph things. Not to get anything wrong with them. Like if that's your thing, that's
I don't
your
know
thing.
anything about those.
What they are is they're like figures that like form into Zords and form into other people, and then you can like take arms and stuff off of other ones.
So like
it's
those
really-
Avengers ones, those
Yeah.
Marvel toys you can buy, they're
like
that.
That's
Yeah.
it's the same company,
I know what
and
you're
it's.
talking
I'm not a fan, but if you're a fan, whatever.
It's like, man, you know what I want? I want the Green Ranger chest, but I want the Blue Ranger helmet.
When I was
It's
a
like,
kid,
why?
the coolest, you didn't need mix and match toys. You just needed to,
helmet.
you could just take the shield off of one ranger and put it on another ranger, and you were happy.
He looks better like this.
Wow,
Billy for life.
fulfilling a childhood dream over here, I think.
Never happened for Billy. It's upsetting.
Jay likes Billy.
He was the only dude. And in the 2010 line, they made one.
Yeah, they did.
You need to
and
get that.
I do
Obviously,
need to buy
Jake
that. There we
needs
go.
the Billy with
If
the
anybody
shield.
has that, let him know.
Please. I mean,
Send us your Billies with
send
the
us your
dragon
Billies,
shield.
please. I have how many? I have 2 Billies right now. I have the movie one because both of my Billies are because of you, David. You gave me your old Ninja Billy, and you got me the movie Billy recently.
The Legacy movie one.
I'm a good friend to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is my favorite cast of all
Oh,
time. These
definitely.
original 6.
Oh yeah,
And I love
They're-
these toys.
They're great.
they're a really good group.
So anything else to add?
No,
I think that pretty much covers it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe you have some stories of memories with these figures as well. And thanks for watching. As always, it is David,
Jeremy.
Jacob.
and this has been Command Center Reviews. We'll see you next time. Bye.